Hey guys, and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering card and lore preview. As we continue to go through the new commanders of Commander 2016, some send us far back into the deep past of MTG's story, such as the case with Sidar Kondo of Jamuraa, a heroic figure on Dominaria who finally sees print with this set. First, his new card, Sidar Kondo of Jamuraa, 2/5 legendary creature human knight for 2 generic and Selesnyan colors. Creatures your opponents control without flying or reach can't block creatures with power 2 or less. It also has flanking, which gives every creature without flanking that blocks this creature -1/-1 until end of turn and partner. Despite my somewhat negative feeling towards some of these new partner commanders, I think Sidar Kondo is actually pretty solid. Not atrocious stats for the cost, with a persistent effect that allows your little guys to bash in more frequently. Would be interesting in some kind of token generating deck, but if you buff them up even a little bit, well, then you won't be making use of this card's selling point. As I said, for a lot of the partners, you really need to find a good combo with another commander in order to make this thing more viable than any other choice. And given the limited pool, it may just mean it stands as a little weak for my liking. Although, I do love how this effect is basically board-wide, making multiplayer games all the more fun, if not a tad bit confusing. So there's the card. Now, let's get into the lore. As I said, Kondo is a character from way back in the day, his name being mentioned in the stories of the Mirage block, which included Mirage, Visions, and Weatherlight. He was the strong leader of the Jamuraa war clan, focused and disciplined, but commanding great honor and compassion as well. He was a symbol of hope during the Mirage War, a conflict which looked to see Jamuraa swallowed whole and oppressed. Riding on the back of his trusted steed, Kondo always seemed to enter the battle just at the right time to sway its outcome. His years as a warrior left him in a prominent position within the war clan, effectively making him chief. But his life isn't solely based off bloodshed and war. Kondo is also a father to 2 sons, one his own flesh and blood and the other adopted. His trueborn son was named Vul, the adopted refugee, Jared Capuchin, who came with a unique silver golem guardian named Karn. These 2 boys grew up together, lived together, and both were treated equally by their father. They became strong warriors, gifted leaders, but ultimately, only one could follow in Kondo's footsteps, and naturally, it would be the trueborn Vul. In their war clan, the chief doesn't merely relinquish command to his heir, they must be led by a capable warrior, so a ritual trial is conducted to test the chosen son's merit. Vul embarked on this rite of ascension, but through devious trickery with malicious intent, an enemy of the family sabotaged the trial. Crippled by poisoned ceremonial war paint, Vul would fail his trial and nearly die, only being saved by the quick actions of his adopted brother, Gerard. Despite personal feelings, the culture of the tribe was clear on what was to happen next. Vul would be banished, and Kondo would be forced to continue as a disgraced chieftain and father. Leaving the clan was the hardest thing either would experience in their lives, and would ultimately lead them down a path of betrayal and death. As it turns out, all this trouble was caused by the Phyrexians, as is often the case with stories taking place on Dominaria. The Phyrexians were after Gerard Capuchin, who was a product of Urza's Bloodline project, and a destined threat to this evil force. They infiltrated the Kondo tribe and poisoned Vul's war paint, knowing he would fail and could be turned against his loved ones. The Phyrexians plagued Vul's mind with false accusations of Gerard's plot to steal his birthright, eventually turning brother against brother. Vul stewed in his negative thoughts until he finally acted upon them, stealing many of the legacy artifacts left with Gerard by Urza. These separate artifacts were destined to topple the Phyrexians, but Vul had stolen and sold them off to fund his own revenge. Revenge against a father, a brother, and a tribe that turned their back on him. Using the fortune he earned from selling the legacy artifacts, Vul raised an army and attacked his former home. He specifically was looking for his adopted brother Gerard, feeling he was the one responsible for all of his woes. But he had already left to seek training under another ally of Urza's. Despite missing out on his brother, Vul's forces still managed to destroy the Kondo tribe, with Vul himself ending his own father's life. Sidar Kondo tried his best to speak true to his blood-crazed son, but in the end, he would fall to his sword. Sidar Kondo was remembered as a man of great pride and skill, a trusted ally of Urza and protector of his people, a trainer and father to Gerard Capuchin, who would go on to be a hero to all of Dominaria. Yet, he was also a victim to what seemed like the endless assault of the Phyrexians, losing his life and a son to their corruption. And there you go guys, Sidar Kondo of Jamuraa from Commander 2016. Let me know your thoughts on this card and its lore in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, sharing it with friends, and subscribing to stay up to date on all the latest MTG news and lore. As always guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.